Guys, welcome to the Linux course, and right now we are understanding file permissions, and right now we are looking at the file structure, the file hierarchy of a Linux distribution system. So here we have root at the top, and under root we have other subdirectories. Now let us look at these directories one by one. First, /bin, which is essential user command binaries. So you can see every single command. So you can see cat, copy, date, echo, grep, hostname, kill, less, ls, make directory, mount, move, nano. All of these commands are under bin. Every single command is under bin. That is why we use /bin and /bash. Even bash is under bin. So you can see bash. So we use bash to run shell scripts, and bin is one of the most important directories which is required so that you can run commands. So without these commands, basically you cannot do anything else in the Linux system. And then etc, configuration files for the system. You have cron tab, you have the host names, you have the networks, you have the passwords here. Even the passwords are stored here. Even the time zones are available here. The services running are available here. You can see every single configuration files in under the etc folder. And then going to sbin, essential system binaries. Again, this is for the user binaries, user command binaries. This is sbin is for system binaries. So you can see fdisk, fsck, getty, halt, if config, reboot, make swap, make file system. So these are all system based commands. So make file system is for let's say when you mount a particular file storage, but that storage does not have a file system in it. It does not support the Linux file system. Then you can use the mkfs command to install a Linux file system within that storage. And then you can use reboot to reboot the system, and halt to halt every processes, if config to view the system's configurations and IP addresses and MAC addresses. So that is what sbin is. And then usr, basically it's user. Read-only user applications support data and binaries. So under usr, under user you can see a bin, most user commands. Under that you see include, standard include files for C code, and library, obj, bin, lib files for coding packages. These are basically for the user. These are meant for the user. Even the man pages are under user, because a user is going to look for the man pages. Because if I don't know a command, so let's say I don't know what ping is, so I'll just type in man ping, and the man pages are actually stored under the usr directory. Under usr it is stored under share, under share it is stored under man. So from there it will be fetched and it will be given to me. So that's what static. So you can see here, static data shareable across all architectures. So you can share this particular data across every single Linux distribution, and it will not stop your functionality. And then var, variable data files. You have var cache, application cache data. So once some application is running, you need this cache data. So without this, that application will not know what exactly is happening, and once you delete it, it has to do the processes again and again. It has to store that data in cache. Even the history command needs cache. While you type in history, you'll be seeing all the commands which were previously executed, but where will that be stored? It will be stored in the cache. And then you have var lib, data modified as program runs. You have log, you have the log files, you have the opt, variable data for installed packages. So basically any package you install, first it'll be under the var opt package. And there are temporary files as well. Temporary files saved between reboots. So once you're rebooting, there might be some files which is getting saved. So that will be saved and stored in the temporary directory. And once it is rebooted, it will be regained again. And then there are some other important directories. /dev. /dev is basically for a device file. So if I put in a pen drive, I can find that pen drive under the /dev folder. And then there is /home. So /home is basically user home directories. So that's what I was showing you, the home directory which has all the user names under it. And then lib is libraries. So we installed kernel headers and kernel development, kernel devils in the start while installing the additional the VisualBox additionals. So those additional files require these kernel modules, because kernel modules are the files which are required so that we can contact between we can have contact between us, the shell, and the kernel. So that's why we need the libraries and the kernel modules. And then /mnt is basically for mounting. If a new file system is getting mounted to the system, you can find it in the /mount directory. Then again, opt is there, proc is there, and finally one root is there. Home directory for the root user. So even under root, there is a folder called root. Under that folder, you will find some subdirectories again, and that particular directory is for the root user, and that is the home directory for the root user. So normally for a user like IntelliPad, the home directory is /home, but for a root user, the home directory is /root. So that's what we'll have to look at. So this is the file hierarchy in a Linux distribution. In every single Linux distribution, this is how it will look. So understand this particular concept very well. So because everything in Linux is a file, as I told you, /dev/ the device name. Basically, if you enter a pen drive, again that pen drive will consider it as a file in the Linux system. So every single entity is a file in Linux. So that's why files and file permissions are very important in Linux. So thank you. Let me meet you in the next session.